Hello, I'm Logan Torres.
And I'm Addison Migna.
For this month's The Dons, we have an update for the banded tuition. Then, we covered the history conference and had a look back at homecoming, as well as an interview with the king and queen.
I went out to the Overwatch esports tournament that involved students to challenge each other over a first-person shooter game. Also, we have 3D printers, a music quiz, and game highlights for you.
And finally, we'll take a look ahead at the Career Fair, Creative Endeavor Symposium, and the Honors Program Showcase. Banded tuition is a new payment plan being implemented starting next semester. We had the chance to sit down with a few members on the committee and talk about it. The entire panel is available on our YouTube page. We then went out to see how much or how little students knew about the program and their thoughts on it. We sat down with Karen Van Goder, David Peterson, Steve George, Diana Jackson, and Pamela Michalik to talk about IPFW's latest proposal, banded tuition. The details of the proposal for banded tuition were explained by Diana Jackson.
Banded tuition, it can be kind of looked at as a flat rate. So what it is if a student takes, and what we're proposing is if a student takes anywhere from 12 to 18 credit hours, they pay one set amount.
Steve George described the possible benefits of banded tuition as the elimination of the distance learning fee for online classes, a $96 fee, reduced student debt by decreasing the amount of time spent in school, and even increased graduation rates. Even still, no proposals without its drawbacks.
Another possible benefit, early graduation. Possible degree, multiple degree options where you might double major or major minor because you'll have a possibility of taking more hours, therefore a possibility of being able to make more linkages to those types of degrees. Possible overall reduction in student debt.
After our meeting with the panel, we went to students to find out what they knew about banded tuition. Do you guys know what banded tuition is?
Banded tuition? No.
No?
Yeah.
No.
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 I don't.
I think banded tuition is basically allotting like a certain amount for a certain amount of credit hours.
I heard that it's like in blocks, so I think it's like once you reach a certain amount, it's going to be the same amount of tuition in that band.
As students, would you be okay paying one price for taking anywhere from 12 to 21 credit hours, paying just one price for that, paying the same price across the board for that?
I think it would be better if you took more credit hours, I think. But if you take like the minimum, I don't think it would be as beneficial.
I think it sounds good, but I'm not like entirely in favor because I guess I don't know enough. But I think from what I've heard, it sounds like a good option.
Yes, I would agree to that as long as there was options for students that wanted to take less than that.
Yeah, I think that would be worth it. Should be a good idea.
Yeah, I think that sounds nice.
Okay. Overall, the students seem to have a generally positive response to the flat rate proposal, but only time will tell how this will impact the student body.
For the past 8 years, IPFW's History Department has held a conference for students to share their research and discuss their ideas and findings. On February 11th, they held their 9th annual event, and I went to go check it out. On Saturday, February 11th, the 9th annual Undergraduate History Conference was held at the IPFW Alumni Center. The purpose of the conference was to give undergraduate students the opportunity not to only present their work to their peers, faculty, and their families, but to also provide them with a chance to formally practice and improve their presentation and public speaking skills through their research. The event started at 8 a.m. with breakfast and opening remarks from Dr. Richard Weiner, the History Department Chair, and included 5 different panels of topics ranging from war, international diplomacy, identities in the U.S., and politics through the 20th century from 18 different presenters. We were able to catch up with a couple of the students, Heather Dewey and Rosie McQueen, and ask them a couple questions about why they were presenting.
I like to do the history undergraduate conferences because it gives me the chance to actually spread my research out. I'm also pursuing a PhD in history, so it gives me some much needed practice when it actually comes to public speaking, which I'm not a fan of.
I'm very used to writing long papers. I'm not so used to getting up in front of people and talking about history. Because when you write a long paper, you get to do like run-on sentences, you get to get creative with the sentence structure and stuff like that. Talking face-to-face requires a different sort of level of communication.
Dr. Suzanne Levere, an associate professor who has been teaching ancient and medieval Europe at IPFW for 8 years and a co-organizer of the History Conference, tells us that studying history isn't just about remembering dates and names, but rather a better way to understand what's happening around the world and to become a global citizen. Levere also talks about practical real-world uses from the skills learned as a history major.
Studying history can lead to all kinds of different jobs. The vast majority of people who study history do not become historians, but they use the skills they learn, like the writing skills, the speaking skills, the analysis skills, in all kinds of jobs for government, nonprofit, in all kinds of businesses, and so on.
LeVere also added that this is a conference that is not just for history majors. Students who major in political science, secondary education, communications, English, psychology, and legal studies were on the panels and giving speeches about their research. A lecturer in the IPFW Political Science Department for over 17 years, Thomas Hay, believes the conference gives students the chance to present work as they would present it in an academic conference.
It gives them a chance to take work that they've done, which has been recognized as high quality work by their faculty, and sort of polish it up to another level and get it maybe something that could even be published, which has happened in some instances with these. So, it's the next step, bridging undergraduate and postgraduate work for a lot of them.
To find out more about the Department of History here at IPFW, visit their Facebook page, facebook.com/IPFWhistory, their IPFW website at www.ipfw.edu/history, or get in touch with Terry Luce, who is the department secretary. You can also stop by the Liberal Arts Building in room 209 and speak with one of the faculty members.
Homecoming was a huge success this year. There were lots of fun activities and free IPFW merch throughout the week, culminating in the men's basketball team playing Omaha State. We went to most of the events and had a great time. Let's take a look. Homecoming was kicked off Monday, February 6th. Students enjoyed free food and were able to print out personalized posters. On Tuesday, students got tacos with a side of salsa dancing in the Walb Classic Ballroom, where I learned to cut a rug with the instructors. Students got to kick it back again in the Classic Ballroom on Wednesday with chili and hot cocoa. And Thursday, early risers were treated to breakfast from Cosmos. Friday was all fun and games in the Fieldhouse, when students got to play larger-than-life-size games like bubble soccer and chess, as well as eat Mozzarelli's giant pizzas. And Saturday, there was a homecoming celebration, and both men and women's basketball teams played and won, the men beating Omaha State in overtime. The homecoming king and queen were crowned during the halftime, and we were able to get an interview with both of them.
Hi guys, my name is Hugo. I am a sophomore here at IPFW. I'm going to school for Health Service Administration, and I am this year's IPFW Homecoming King.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Perez, and I'm a senior. I am this year's Homecoming Queen.
I am the treasurer of Hispanos Unidos.
I am the social media coordinator.
So our club is a volunteering-based club here on campus. We go out in the community and help others. We do things with Big Brothers, Big Sisters, the Boys and Girls Club, soup kitchens, and various other different things. We try to get ourselves out there so we can help others. We want to just set ourselves out there to help people get out of their shells, kind of like we did, and just motivate them to keep on doing great things on campus. We want to make this campus something better for everybody. We definitely want students to get their voice out there, just kind of like we kind of wanted to.
Also I think we are pretty relatable people and very approachable, so I think it's very easy for people to look at us and, talk to us, and we can definitely let them know what we're doing on campus and in the community in hopes that they would someday want to do it themselves.
I feel really excited that I stepped out of my comfort zone this year to become Homecoming King. I feel really excited. I can't wait to see what the future brings for us, and opportunity-wise also.
I'm very excited to be this year's Homecoming Queen as well. I feel very accomplished and eager to just take advantage of this position and show incoming students and students that are here already that anything is possible if you just put dedication into it. I really hope to just show people that anyone can do anything they put their minds to.
We're very involved on campus, and we try to be very involved in the community also. I want to put myself out there so I can help other students get more involved on campus. I want to be a voice for students. I want to help students get motivated to love school. I love being IPFW, and I think it's a really good opportunity to just be here.
I sat down with our reporter Isabella to talk with her about the student theater production, Stupid Effing Bird. Last Friday, we sent our correspondent, Isabella, to watch Stupid Effing Bird, a play happening on campus. She joins me now to share her thoughts. So what'd you think, Isabella?
It was really interesting. Super Effing Bird is not your average play, as you can tell by the name on its own. It's very different. They treat subjects like love and belonging and depression and family, politics with care, but also with great punchlines. So it's very, very different than what you would see somewhere else. They interact with the audience quite a bit, so it's very refreshing. They will make you laugh and cry and feel anger or whatever the characters are feeling. They really sell it to you. I do want to mention, all the actors did a great job, but I do want to mention a couple that stood out to me. Carrie Broba acting skills are amazing. She really sells her character. She really embraces it, and she really sells her character. Freddie Fueling improvisation skills will astonish you. He interacts with the audience and he responds to what they're saying in such a natural but also hilarious way. Brooke O'Mara dances a little bit and it's very charming. She's a very charming character, actress, but I guess the character too. She's very charming and hypnotizing almost. Elena Thornton, she sings a little bit and she plays the ukulele, and it's very cute. She has a very quirky and kind of awkward character, but when she sings, she's very cute. Now, Cameron Tolliver was probably one of my favorites. He really knows how to deliver a great punchline. He knows the timing, he knows what he has to say, when he has to say, and it's great. He'll literally make you laugh out loud. It's amazing. The stage, the lighting, and the music were probably one of my favorite parts of the play. The stage was beautiful, very well done, but the lighting and the music, they really made you feel what they wanted you to feel. They really brought the audience into the play. It was, so the music, it would be softer, the lighting would be softer to feel sad or bright and happy. It was really good. The actors were great at making fun of they had a logical and smooth transition to sad, and there was a lot of emotions going on in that play, but the transition was pretty smooth, and they really sold it. They really sold it. But they did had a little biting commentary for the IU and IPFW split, which is understandable. They also had a little funny commentaries about our current president, which were really funny, very well placed. So it was, as a whole, it was an amazing play. It was really good. It was very different than anything you've ever watched. And it is really hard to describe, but it's certainly something that you have to see it to appreciate it. So that's just what I say. It's something you have to see it to really understand.
Well, I would agree. I actually went and saw it this first weekend as well, and I thought that the actors did a wonderful job. They definitely, like you said, they delivered the punchlines right on cue, and it kept the whole thing moving. And the whole time, I didn't feel like I was in my seat. I felt like I was there at the play.
Yeah.
And that was probably the most dramatic experience for me in regards to being able to be interacted with, but also after they break that fourth wall, they go right back to the play. And it's such a smooth transition, like you said, from one emotion to the next, and you just really feel what those actors themselves are feeling.
It was very good.
Yeah.
One of our fastest growing attractions in entertainment today is professional gaming, also known as esports. Tournaments are held all around the world with massive prize pools in video games such as League of Legends, Dota, and Call of Duty. IPFW has its own esports organization, and on February 15th, they hosted the first Overwatch event. The LOL IPFW student organization hosted their first ever PC Overwatch Winter Classic event, which kicked off on February 17th in the Walb International Ballroom. The tournament started at 6 p.m., but players came in an hour early to set up their computer and laptop rigs. Many people brought their PCs and laptops from home, and there were definitely a couple of cool and outrageous looking setups. 4 different teams named Executive Order, Because Free Pizza, Jeff Kaplan's Funky Fresh Beats, and Wrestled with Jeff competed in a 5v5 best of 5 match for a grand prize of Overwatch gold medals and pop action figures. We spoke to a couple of the team captains and their teammates to get their thoughts about going in the first round.
I'm feeling pretty good. This is the first time we kind of got together, started playing with each other, but I'm feeling pretty confident. We played a couple quick games, seemed to communicate pretty well.
I mean, I've been around Overwatch since the game begun. I played in the beta, so I understand the game, but not as much practice as some of the other people in this room. So it was a little shaky, but excited to play some competitive video games.
In the first round, I looked at our team. I haven't been able to play with them yet, but as long as we work together, we're probably going to make it through.
I'm kind of nervous. I have a guy who was really high ranked in my team, so I know there are others,
In the first round, Wrestled with Jeff played against Funky Fresh Beats. The game ended up going to a round 5 match at Lijiang Tower, in which Funky Fresh Beats would take the win 3-2 to go to the finals. On the other end, Team Free Pizza battled against Executive Order. There were a couple of technical difficulties in where one player's game crashed and the match was postponed for about 15 minutes. After the problem was fixed, there was no stopping the loss of Executive Order, where they were defeated in a devastating 1-3 loss. Facing off in the finals was Team Free Pizza and Team Funky Fresh Beats in a match to the best of 3. The first round went to Funky Fresh Beats, and they were in high hopes while Team Free Pizza seemed extremely discouraged. However, Free Pizza bounced back in the second match, and it was now tied 1-1. Unfortunately, Free Pizza was not able to hold on, and Funky Fresh Beats ended up taking the win 2-1. The voting for MVP began at the end of the tournament, and the team captain for Funky Fresh Beats, Jorpin, received a free Overwatch jacket, which retails at about $80. For more information about upcoming events or how to join LOL, visit the Facebook page at facebook.com/LOLIPFW or email them at lolipfw@gmail.com.
IPFW now has 3D printers. The printers are up and running and free for students to use until the end of the semester. We interviewed lab worker Xavier Armstrong for more information.
3D printers have now made their way to IPFW. The printers are located in WALP 221, the computer lab right next to Studio M. This semester, students will be allowed to use the printers free of charge. 3D worker Xavier Armstrong gives us more information on the new printing lab.
There's a couple different programs that we can use. Any 3D modeling software like Inventor, 3D Studio Max, Maya. I think there's one called NetFab, Google SketchUp. Pretty much any of those that can export in either STL or OBJ format, we can actually use to print here. And then if they don't know how to model themselves, they can go to Thingiverse.com or any similar website and just pull the files offline. Right now we're creating the form for the step that they have to go through. Basically all they have to do is log into the ITS website on IPFW, submit a help ticket, and then we'll take it from there. So we'll email and let them know how long it'll take, how much it'll cost, and we're not charging for this semester, but later on. And then once it's done, we'll send them our email, let them know we can pick it up, and they just sign out and take it. With what we have here, we can do 8 by 8 by 10 inches, but we can also do larger than that if we slice it up into pieces and then glue them together later. We use PLA plastic to print. Our colors range from blue, green, orange. We have black, carbon fiber, wood, glow in the dark blue, green, and regular white, and then we also have basic gray and black as well. You can print phone cases, dice sets, cubes. Some guy came over printing and requested grabber hands for a robot. So it can pretty much be anything that you want to print.
For more information, stop into WALP 221 and talk to the workers behind the desk. How well do you know classical music composers? We got to meet one very special young man who probably knows more about composers than the majority of the students here on campus. Our reporter, Isabella, and editor, Joe, got to sit down with Theodore Price, the son of Dr. Casey Price of Student Life, to see just how many composers he could get right compared to some of our students.
So tell me your name again.
Theodore Edward Price.
Very good. And how old are you?
5 years old.
5 years old? Can you show how old you are to the camera? There? 5 years old? 5 years old. What is your favorite cartoon that you watch?
Little Einsteins.
That's how you're so smart, right? Okay, so I'm going to play you some songs, and you're going to tell me who the composers of these classical songs are, okay?
Yay!
Are you ready to play? All right, let's do this.
Mozart? I'm going to say Beethoven for this one.
Beethoven. No, he did piano. Mozart. I don't know.
Vivaldi.
Vivaldi. That's very, very right.
I'm going to take a shot in the dark on this. Is that Mozart?
I guess I'll just guess Bach because I don't really know any other classic composers, so.
Hey, can you tell me again who that was?
Ever Greek.
Sounds like something out of Jurassic Park.
This is Beethoven.
He's a white dude? That's all I got, that he's just a white dude. He probably is dead.
Beethoven.
That's right.
William Tell Overture of Rossetti.
Rossino.
That's right. Recognize it now? That's all. So you got almost all of them correct. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got 5 of these 6 songs right. That's really impressive.
Now let's take it over to Aaron Stevens with sports. How we doing here, Aaron?
Hey, Logan. I hope everyone is having a great week, and just remember, spring break is just around the corner. Speaking of things around the corner, we have the Men and Women's Summit League Championship coming up in a couple weeks at South Dakota. But first, let's talk about the past week's games. First, Fort Wayne men's basketball played South Dakota last Saturday. John Cocker and Bryson Scott led the way for the Mastodons by scoring 22 points each, but it was not enough to stop the Jackrabbits as they take the win 97-89. Next, the men traveled to IUPUI last Thursday, where Kason Harrell led the way for the Mastodons, scoring a total of 19 points. Both IPFW and IUPUI stayed close the entire game, but the Jaguars came up on top, winning 83-82. Currently, the men sit at 6th in the conference standings with 1 game remaining in the regular season at Western Illinois on Saturday. Now let's switch over to Fort Wayne women's basketball team as they played South Dakota State last Saturday. Selena Lozada and Peyton Falis lead the way for the Women Dons as they both had 12 points against the Jackrabbits, but they could not stop South Dakota State's Ellie Thompson as she scored a total of 20 points to help win against Fort Wayne 76-59. Next, the women traveled to Western Illinois, where Lappencaper and Reinhardt both lead the Mastodons for a total of 11 points each, but they were unable to defeat the Leathernecks as they fall 51-77. The women currently sit in last place in the standings as they are about to finish their regular season playing IUPUI on Saturday. Men's baseball continues to be on their way as they have started the season 2-2. They'll have a busy weekend as they head to Georgia for a 4-game tournament. They'll play Chicago State, Canisius on Friday, NGIAT on Saturday, and play Canisius again on Sunday. Fort Wayne baseball will start the regular season games March 3rd at Arkansas against Little Rock. That's it for sports. Have a great day. Back to you, Logan.
Thanks, Aaron. On March 23rd, IPFW will hold their career fair for students. Businesses, leaderships, governments, and nonprofit organizations will be represented there. It's a good opportunity to network and help be prepared for a career after college.
On March 29th, the Student Research and Creative Endeavor Symposium will hold their 20th annual showcase. This is open to undergraduate and graduate students from all disciplines. There will be some students recognized for their excellent research work.
And finally, honors students will present their project to faculty, staff, and administration for the Honors Program Showcase on March 24th. Man, this month has been crazy so far. We've had all sorts of programs and new features coming to campus. But guess what?
What?
It's getting warmer and warmer outside, and spring break's right around the corner. So what are you doing for spring break?
To be honest with you, I think I'm just going to study for midterms.
Yeah, see, that doesn't sound like quite my kind of spring break. Instead, I'm going to take a vacation after this really, really stressful first half of the semester. Just need to refresh and then come back ready for the second half.
Well, I hope you enjoy your time. And as we enter midterms, good luck to all you students and be safe on your spring break.
That wraps it up for us on this month's segment. Thanks for watching To Dons.